Heed this call, a plea to conscious will, free souls of able men, to stop seeding and enabling our cultural downfall, and resurrect traditions of self-respect and lifting of self. Reject submission to ignorance, choose the mission, to walk the path of wisdom, the quest to bless the ones coming next with something different, by putting them in position to win as young men, living for the future, not waiting upon the end, standing for what's good, beyond defined threats, the power and effect of the manhood mindset.
Now, first question, how to deal with mental illness. Do you think that could be beneficial for y'all to know how to deal with mental illness? All right? Or if you can't deal with it, do you think it may help somebody else you know who may be dealing with mental illness? Now check this out. I have a mental health background. I went to school counseling and got my master's, but I also deal with a lot of people in different backgrounds, all right? Not just people that look like us, but I deal with a lot of people who have a lot of different backgrounds from other ethnicities, cultures, but some of us are the same race with a different culture, all right? Because just because we look like each other don't mean we're the same people, does it? Right? So now check this out. How do we deal with mental health? First of all, you got to know what mental health is, okay? A lot of us may not understand the complete definition of what mental health means. Mental health to me may be something totally what mental health is to you. So the first thing I want y'all to really pay attention to is create a working definition of what mental health is, okay? A lot of people don't know what it is, and you just take other people's perception of it and start basing it off what other people do, and if it doesn't match, you'll think you're unhealthy, okay? You ever been around people with something that works for them? If you try to do it, it makes your life harder? All right, that can be mentally unhealthy for you because you're not supposed to be doing the same thing, okay? Now, check this out. Anything that allows negative thoughts, hurtful thoughts, malicious thoughts, anything that takes your whole demeanor down, that is, I would say, contrary to your mental health, all right? Now, the key to mental health is not always what people tell you, is what you choose to believe. I want you to write that down, please. It's not always what people tell you, it's what you choose to believe. Why would I say something like that? Anybody want to tell me what do you think I mean by that statement? It's not what people tell you, it's what you choose to believe. What does that mean to you all? I'm sorry?
That's what you repeat?
Yes. It's not what people tell you, it's what you choose to believe. What do you think that means?
So, like, even if someone would take something right, you can still believe that there is something right. Like, for example, like if somebody say, oh, this and that happened, and then you might, I don't necessarily believe that, even though it's true.
Right.
So it depends on what you believe. Like, something like, you can think somebody's lying to you, but at the same time, the whole time they haven't told you anything to the truth, they won't lie to you.
Because your beliefs, your assumptions can make you draw conclusions, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you one thing that I found out in my life. People who don't know a lot conclude a lot. If they don't know, if they don't have all the facts, they'll draw conclusions and believe what they drew themselves, okay? Now, let me give you an example. Have y'all ever said something and somebody took what you said the wrong way without asking you for clarity first before they took it all the way to the deep end? Right. A lot of people don't know how to comprehend. Comprehension is a very, very lost art in society, period. Not just in our community, in everybody's community. I'm around a lot of different people who don't know how to comprehend what the world going on, okay? So this is one thing for mental health. First one thing I want you to understand, stop fighting battles that have nothing to do with you. I'm gonna say it again. Stop fighting battles that have nothing to do with you. If people have a problem with you, it is actually their problem with you, not yours. Does that make any sense to anyone? Somebody tell me what I just said. I don't want to assume that you understand what I'm saying. Yes?
You mean like if someone has a problem with you, that's something that they have to do.
Right. Guess what bullies do? They want to take their problem that they have with you and then make it yours. That's what bullying means. I have a problem. Now I want it to be your problem. To make sure you have a mentally healthy interaction with that person, make sure their problem with you stays their problem. How do you do that? You need to get space and give them grace. I didn't say be nice and be their friend. I didn't say that. What you want to do, if you know someone has a problem with you, what you want to do is at all times, try your best to not be in the same area as that person. One thing that you want to understand when it comes down to mental health, you can't make people like you, because a genuine friendship is not forced. Do y'all understand what I just said? Some of us are trying to force friendships in our lives, trying to be other people's friend, and that's a political agreement. That is not a friendship. Do y'all understand what I just said? Some of us still got people in our lives that should not be there. We think they're supposed to be there because we've known them the longest. That's not your best friend. That's somebody you've known for a long time. Do you get what I just said? Now, unfortunately, we think loyalty should trump common sense. It does not. Some of us are loyal to things that's killing us. That's detrimental to mental health. Do y'all understand what I just said? Some of us are very loyal to what's a liability. Now, let me tell you this. I want you to write this down. This is going to sound confusing, but I will explain, but I need you to write it down. Let me know when you're ready. Ready? Leverage. 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 Leverage without loyalty is a mental liability. Leverage without loyalty is a mental liability. Somebody tell me what you think that means real quick.
If you don't have a way out, or if you don't have a way to put yourself out of a situation, like if you feel like you're for a company and you have a contract with that company, if you don't have a way in that contract to get out of that company, then you're in a tough situation.
That's extremely accurate. That's extremely accurate. Also, too, let me try to compliment what you just said. Have you ever had somebody to show up to work every day but don't do work every day? They got perfect attendance, but their work ethic is horrible. Think about how many people who show up in your life every day but they don't do nothing for you. Perfect attendance, horrible work ethic. Okay? They have leverage, but they have no loyalty. Do you get what I'm saying? Some people who are around you, they're around you just to get you to do something you don't feel like doing. But since you've known them for so long, you think you have to do it because you don't want to lose a friend. I'm going to tell you a cheat code to life. Anytime when you don't do something that literally goes against your character, you'll never lose a friend. But you will always lose some bad company. I'm going to say that again. If you ever stand up for yourself, you will never lose a friend. I'll say it one more time. Every time you stand up for yourself, you will never lose a friend, but you will lose bad company every time. What's the difference between company and friendships? What's the difference? They're in your surrounding. And put like this, company is almost like a business. People who go on business, they start a company. Everybody in your company ain't your friend, is it? Exactly. The reason why sometimes our mental health goes south, we're putting expectations and titles on people who don't even know the job description. Stop calling people your friends if they haven't even been your friend. That can actually confuse us. And I will tell you this, the number one, I ain't gonna say number one, but a key component of bad mental health is confusion. When people are confused, are they sad? Are they frustrated? When you're frustrated, is it hard to move forward and complete tasks when you're frustrated and confused? When you feel stuck, don't you kind of sometimes say bad things to yourself, like, why I'm not doing this, all this stuff? Anytime when you're confused, I want your red flag to go all the way up and say, I need to produce some type of clarity. Every word that you use needs a definition, and everybody around you needs a specific job to do. Stop letting people in your life if they do absolutely nothing. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? And the people you hang around, if you don't benefit from them, stop calling them friends and say, he's my company, he's my associate, we associate, we know the same folks. Okay? But some people use friendship like they use the word love. A lot of people don't even know the definition of love. That's the reason why they use it to manipulate you. Everybody got their own definition. But put it like this, have you ever seen somebody try to hurt you and they say, I did it because I love you? You see the difference? If you don't have a clear definition, they can use it to manipulate your behavior. So you got to be very careful. Mental health means just standing in truth and clarity. Confusion is the opposite of mental health. I want you to write it down, please. Confusion is the opposite of mental health. How to deal with mental health? Make sure you're surrounded by clarity and consistency. Make sure you're surrounded by clarity and consistency. How to control my stress in this tough situation? Make sure you have, like, I have a specific saying that I say to myself all the time. Okay? This helps me regroup and pretty much reboot my computer, my brain, every time. Okay? Every time I get pissed off or I get extremely upset, and not even something that I say, I chuckle. And I'm going to tell you why. Laughter literally produces endorphins. It releases a chemical called endorphins and dopamine. Did y'all know that? Mm-hmm. That's where the term dope comes from, because the drugs that people take force the brain to release dopamine. That's why they call it dope. Okay? Now, but I do it the natural way. What I try to do is crack a joke and find the punchline in it so I don't have to physically punch anybody. Y'all understand what I did? So what I do is make sure that I use my brain before I use my fist. If you use your brain before you use your external body, you will never lose a fight. If you use your body before you use your brain, you will lose every fight, even if you're the last one standing. You want to know why? Because you just lost the fight up here. Everybody who results to violence just lost the fight in their mind. Because guess what? People don't even know the words to communicate, or they don't even know what the hell's going on. They just want to express their confusion. I got you. Thank you. Does that make sense? Your brain and your spirit was formed before your body in the womb. Your spirit was there before you even body. Your heart was there. Your heartbeat and your brain suffered before, formed before your fist did. Unfortunately, we use the last things that developed in our first step when we have conflict. Use your brain, your spirit, and your mind, and your soul. Use all of that before you get in the fisticuffs with other people. Does that make any sense? All right. What do you think we will be as a society if people thought more than they fought? You might say it louder. Right. Yeah, exactly. If people thought more than they fought, we would have a better life. All of us. But sometimes fighting is easier because thinking, especially critical thinking, it's hard to do when you don't know how to do it.
I'm thinking about what you just said.
Go for it.
So, you was talking about war. I just thought about this yesterday. Every time any country has a conflict with the other president, they put all of their citizens in danger.
Yeah.
But all of our laws in danger. Like,
yeah.
They don't care about our laws.
Yeah.
They just care about the
they want to kill that one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're going to kill anybody just to get to one person.
Yeah. I always wonder, my mentor told me, he said, you ever notice when it come down to life and death situation, they don't ask for your vote. They don't even care what you're saying, it's just, we doing this, y'all better get ready.
And one more thing I was about. Ukraine and Russia, they have something going on. Just because we got an alliance with them or whatever, why does that have to make every single country, well not every single country, but a whole bunch of countries have to go to war as well? Right?
Let's use that example to what happens in school. How many of y'all have seen people who don't get along and you see people who ain't got nothing to do with it involve themselves? Don't they make things worse? People do that on a global scale? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. How many times?
Huh? I said, yeah, they do recording.
People that just jump into the fight.
That's my point. People who not only record because they're involving themselves, see, put like this, people who recording, they're literally magnifying whatever was going on. Because if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. I need you to understand that. Because if you see something detrimental that could put you in danger and you're recording it for likes, you're part of it.
So, wait. But, you know, U.S. is allies with Ukraine, right?
No.
Or
First of all, I'm not even qualified to really talk about what's going on. I just found out by some bombs yesterday.
Ukraine are part of NATO.
Right. So I just want to make sure, because if y'all ask me questions about it, I don't want to steer y'all the wrong way. Okay? Right now, what I do know is about conflict between people. That's what I do know. Specifics, I don't have. So I don't want to steer you in any wrong direction. Does that make sense? So let's take your subject matter and apply it to what you see in school every day. You got people in conflict, and you got people walking up to it, involving themselves, and then making it worse. Have y'all seen that before?
Yeah.
That's what we're going through globally, but it starts locally. The same stuff we do in the school level, a lot of people doing it on the world level, and it's hard to respect people who are in control of your governments when they're doing the same stuff you see people doing in middle school. See how weird this can get? How to confront someone for something controversial. Anytime when I'm bringing up a controversial topic, I always ask them, do I have permission to bring something up with you? All right? Put like this. Usually when someone is trespassing, you're more likely to defend yourself when you think someone is trespassing. In order to not be trespassing on someone else's property, don't you at least have to tell them you're coming or ring the doorbell first? Okay, got you. Now check this out. Sometimes you can be asking about somebody's business, but if they didn't bring it up themselves, it's almost like you're emotionally trespassing. Does that make sense? So if you want to bring something, like I had a friend of mine, he just lost his mother. I don't want to bring nothing up he's not wanting to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? So guess what I do as a friend? Hey, bro, I really want to check on you, but I don't want to talk about nothing you don't want to talk about. Do I have your permission to bring this up? He was like, no, it's not a good time. All right, I won't trespass. Y'all get it? Some days I may get an invitation. He'll call me and start talking about his mother. That's when it's okay to go into that realm. Do y'all get it? So anytime when you don't know how to talk about something, ask how to talk about it. But ask permission to talk about it first. 2 questions. Hey man, I want to talk about something heavy. Do I have your permission to talk about your dad? I'll talk about the breakup you had with your girl. I'll talk about that loss you took the other day. Do I have permission to talk about it first? Okay? Second, how do I talk about it with you? I don't want to make you mad. I don't want to make you sad, but I do want to support you. Can you tell me how do you want me to talk about it? Okay? Most people just want you to listen. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you some wild stuff. Have y'all ever been in a situation where you didn't know what to say? Guess what I found out? Sometimes if you don't know what to say, that means you ain't supposed to say anything. I'm telling you, when you're at a loss for words, that means there are no words. When there are no words, the only thing you got to do is listen and make sure you just tell the truth. Sometimes people who have good hearts, they end up trying to lie to people to make themselves feel good. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is say, I have no idea what to say. The only thing I know is I love you and I support you, but I'm going to need to know how to support you best. Whenever you feel like telling me, I'll listen. Boom. Y'all understand what I just said? Somebody tell me what you just heard. I want to make sure I'm not confusing you.
I don't want to, wait, say it again?
Gotcha. All right. You don't want to impose on anyone, right?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is say, look, I want to talk about it, but I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. When you want to talk about it, I need you to tell me how you want to talk about it, because I still don't want to piss you off. You see what I'm saying? Just like that. So tell me what you think you heard.
So I'm listening, I'm here for you, I don't want to step on the boundaries, so just let me know when you're ready for us to talk about it. That's basically
Gotcha. Next one is, how do I steer away from peer pressure? This is a great thing. Stop calling your peers your friends. Those are 2 different words. Friends don't pressure you, peers do. You get what I just said? Gotcha. Now, when a friend is pressuring you, they just let go of the friend category and stepped into the peer team. Just because they were your friend tomorrow, you have no idea where their mind going to be at next week. Y'all get what I'm saying? Because next week they can have so much pressure, they can come and ask you to do something that may jeopardize your life and your whole family. And if your friend is asking you to do something that's going against your character, guess what? At that moment, stop calling them a friend. They just went over to peer and company mode. Did you get what I just said? People switch up all the time. Let me give you an example. How many in here played pickup basketball at 21? I bet one game you could be having somebody on your team, right? 20 more minutes, he may be on the other team, ain't he? That's how friendships are, especially in middle and high school. Hell, all the way up until my age, I'm 40. People switching up on me every day. Yeah, I get it? What you want to do is find out what game you're playing and know who's on your team. If they have different goals, they're not on your team. Yeah, get it? They're on your team, they'll be shooting to this goal. If he's your friend, he's trying to make you shoot against your own best interest. He's on another team now. Does that make sense? Somebody tell me what I said. I don't want to confuse anyone. Anyone.
You're basically saying you don't want to defend anybody that is completely your own interest.
Thank you. Your friends will never confuse your own interests. Your friends don't pressure. Friends usually already flow into a genuine direction with you. That's friendship. Y'all understand? Now, don't get me wrong. Friends, sometimes they go against each other. Sometimes they get in arguments. But friends will never take you out your character. Why would I take you out your character if I'm actually a friend of your character? You get what I'm saying? I would never make you or manipulate you to do something you're not going to want to do and call you or call myself your friend. Yes?
Two things. One, is it like, well, would you still call it pressure? Like, if you trying to do something that's good for you and your friends are telling you, like, go ahead, do it. Is that still considered peer pressure, or?
That's the difference between motivation and pressure.
I would like call that motivation.
Yeah. See, pressure is usually something of forcing something. You ever seen somebody say, I'm on a grind, and I'm trying to, pressure is almost like this. Have y'all ever heard somebody say, if you force something, you may break it?
Yeah.
If your friends are forcing you to do something, they're about to break the friendship and go into peer mode. Do you get it? There's peer pressure. There's no such, in my brain, in my experience, I've never had friend pressure. I've only had friend motivation and friend support. But I've had company and peer pressure all my life. Okay? You will know the difference between pressure and support if it's beneficial to you and your friend. If they're pressuring you to do something that's not beneficial, that's when you know somebody has switched over to the peer team. They're no longer on your side on 21. Does that make sense? Am I getting to you? Got you. And the reason why I'm making sure, because I've left plenty of seminars before where I still don't know what the hell we're talking about. Okay? So I'm not trying to be condescending when I'm asking you to tell me what you heard. I need to make sure you're not confused when you leave. Okay?
The second thing, I go grab my own drink or left it.
Go ahead. How do you deal with hatred towards someone even after they have passed? Great question. I still have to forgive my father today. All right, my father passed away in 2013. There's a lot of things that happened in my childhood that I wish weren't there. Nothing too detrimental. He was just, I expected more from him than we even give. Y'all understand? However, I'm receiving more from him now that he's passed away because now I can understand how he lived because I'm an older man. Man, I found out that manhood is an actual language to me. Y'all understand? Sometimes you won't understand the person until you're in their situation, and that's how me and my father's relationship is. So now I'm not giving him excuses, but I'm giving him some grace now because now as a father, I know kind of what he's looking at me. You got some fathers that don't know how to talk to their children because they take fatherhood as a job, not a journey. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to have fun and talk on the job. Some men take fatherhood so serious, they don't even know how to talk to you. Outside of the father-son, father-daughter stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Some of them take it so serious that they neglect all the talking and communication skills. Some people think fatherhood is food, water, shelter. Have y'all ever heard of that before? I got clothes on your back, food on the table, roof over your head. What else you want from me? That's how some people think. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So now when I'm in fatherhood now I'm trying to realize, I'm always providing, but I can't take that providing and stop talking to my child because I know that children or people need communication in order to be on the same page. Have y'all ever been on the same team and y'all don't huddle, people don't even know the play? Have y'all ever been in that position before? Y'all on the same team, but y'all don't know what the hell y'all doing. Ain't that, it's only a matter of time if y'all get fighting. Got you. Family is a team sport. Did y'all know that? Family is a team sport. I found out, I was telling my client this morning, manhood is a team sport. I didn't know how to become a man until I started talking to men. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't have the skills or the interest to do it. So what you have to do is make sure you go to other people to do that. Now, I had a seminar that was called, Why Should I Forgive My Father? Why should I forgive my father? Because the things that you don't forgive your father for, you will take out on your children. I'm telling you this. Y'all understand what I just said? Why should you forgive your parent? Because the things that you're holding on, you're going to pass it off to somebody who ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay? Yes?
What was not necessarily your father? What was like a stepfather?
Stepfather, same one. See, what I'm talking about as far as forgiveness. So what is this? Somebody after they pass. It's basically how can you talk to somebody, how do you forgive somebody if they're not even in the room? This is not easy for everyone, but I'm going to tell you what worked for me. You got to find what works for you. The people who have passed away, they are louder now that they passed away, because when they were on this side of the earth, you would have to call them to talk to them. Sometimes when they pass away, they talk to you all the time. They in your mind way more now after they done passed away. You can hear their voice. You can start seeing things that remind you everything of them. They're talking to you more now than ever, right? I had my best friend committed suicide in high school. I was mad at him, but I thought it was also my fault. So how can I forgive him? I held, like this, me not forgiving what happened and forgiving him, I held on to it for years, and I needed therapy, and I was literally destroying myself. You understand what I'm saying? I was holding on to too much hurt because I had blamed myself, and then I was trying to do it in other ways, trying to help a lot of people, but I was also neglecting myself in the process to the point I wasn't helping anybody. Does that make any sense? You may have a stepfather you gotta forgive after they pass. It can be anybody after they pass away. Hell, there's some people you gotta forgive. They still alive, and you just you can't talk to them no more. But you gotta forgive them in their space, right? If you haven't been through that, you will. Trust me on this. There's gonna be some people you can't take in your adulthood with you. You treat your adulthood like another planet. Everybody can't go to another planet with you. It's almost like going on vacation, permanent vacation. Your adulthood, some people gotta stay in high school. Because some people don't even know how to handle their adulthood. So when they get around you, they can be a liability to you and your children. Y'all understand? And so with everything that happened right now, you guys feel like this. A lot of people that I know whose life is in shambles, they're still holding on grudges from stuff they had in middle school. They're 40. Forgiveness is not for your enemy. Forgiveness is for your mental health. Did you know forgiveness is the key, is one of the keys to mental health? Look at forgiveness, not necessarily, some people think forgiveness is amnesia. I didn't tell you to forget. I said forgive. Forgiveness is this. For means do this before. Give means to give, right? So that means you're proactively giving them the respect of knowing who they are before they disappoint you again. That's forgiveness. Is anybody confused about what I just said? Somebody tell me what I said.
You're basically saying you gotta remember who they were before they did what they did.
Thank you. That is forgiveness. Forgiveness depends on your memory. Forgiveness is not forgetfulness. You have to literally remember what the hell going on in order to forgive. Y'all understand what I'm saying? What's forgiveness without memory? You just doing something that you be doing something now. What are you forgiving if you don't know what happened? Does that make sense? You go, how do you control your temper when you feel as your parents are being overbearing? Great question. All right, this is what I do. I found out that some parents or some adults believe that younger people don't know nothing. Have y'all ever heard that before? Y'all don't know nothing. You just talk and you don't know nothing, right? All right, here we go. Unfortunately, you have a lot of adults that don't think younger people are human beings. That's unfortunate.
They didn't think like we have to give you respect. Like
Respect is when you earn
yeah, like they don't earn it. Like you just get it because you just own it. You know what I'm saying?
One of the things I try to do is make sure I respect people before I meet them. I don't care who you are. I respect my daughter. I'm going to tell you how important respect is. I'm glad that you brought it up. I have a nephew that's 7 years old, but when he was first born, I remember people wanted him to hug me and let me hold him, right? He didn't know me that well. So people like, oh, look, that's Uncle Chris going on. I said, listen. I'm not one of those people that force children to do something they don't understand what the hell's going on. So I said, he's a human being. He done got to hug me. You understand what I'm saying? I said, what kind of relationship am I starting if I'm forcing it with a 9-month-old? You get what I'm saying? So he didn't want to hug me or nothing. That's what I did. I said, I respect you. I'm going to just talk to you from a distance. I'm going to wave and I'm going to mind my business, but I'm your family. It wasn't about me. A lot of people make children about their life. His life is about him. My job is to make sure I'm stunning growth. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately, everybody does not approach it like that. So I can tell people and teach people, you don't force kids to love you. You can't force love. You can't force like. You can't even force respect. All three of them got to be given genuinely. Because everything, if it's forced, it's pressure. Family don't pressure you either, not for something detrimental or negative. Family only motivates and supports. Family has to be somebody familiar. I wasn't familiar to him yet. You see what I'm saying? I can't expect him to be all up on me. I ain't familiar. And if I'm a grown man that's literally confident in myself, I don't need a 9-month-old to show me love. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Here we go. Also, too, when it comes down to controlling your temper, when your parents can be overbearing, this is what I want you all to understand. When your parents are losing control over their emotions, which a lot of parents do, right? They get stressed out and they think just because you're looking at them some type of way, they take your body language as disrespect. They take a lot of stuff as disrespect, right? This is what I started doing with my mother. My mother used to be stressed out. Remember when she got divorced and stuff and went through a lot of stuff, right? So sometimes she would see me and she would start yelling, right? So this is what I would start doing. I would have to disarm her so she can get out of her emotional state. So what I used to do is say, Ma, for a second, can you at least admit that I'm listening to you? Can you at least admit that I'm not disrespecting you? Can you at least admit that I'm standing in front of you? Can you at least admit that I'm not having an attitude with you? Can we start there? You see what I'm saying? Because some parents get so into it, they can start assuming stuff about you. Then they start arguing with the conclusion they drew about you.
If I said something like that, my parents would have said that's disrespect.
All right, thank you. No, that's good. Has that backfired on some people?
Oh, yeah.
Got you. That's what I would do.
I said I didn't have the attitude.
Silence backfires too. Guess what I would do? Write it down and send it to them.
I would say something.
Yeah.
So when I started to do this year, anytime my mother says something like rude or disrespectful, I go, oh, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I do to anybody. When anybody says something disrespectful or something I don't like,
I didn't know it was
just say thank you and just walk off. No.
Now, one thing I do want to tell you, is some people are gonna be mad no matter what you do. So their comfort may not be in your power. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, unfortunately, some of y'all need some people for food, water, and shelter. Unfortunately, a lot of people have not been taught and are not interested in knowing how to talk to people better. That's reality. Okay? How do you deal with that? Know good and well that you are responsible for your mental health to a degree. I want y'all to understand this, okay? Because you remember I told you it's not what people say to you, it's what you choose to believe? Okay. Now check this out. You will not be under your parents' roof for that long. Y'all understand? So whatever somebody is verbally abusive, verbally negative to you quite a bit, what I want you to do is learn as much as you can so you can be the best parent on the planet. The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, I saw so much stuff I didn't want nobody else to deal with. It made me a better person. Was it supposed to happen? Nope. Did I make the best of it? Yep. You see what I'm talking about?
Do you whoop your kid? Do you whoop your kid?
She's 6 months.
Oh, okay. But I don't, like, when I become a dad, I don't think I'm gonna whoop my kid. I'm not gonna whoop.
Well, I put like this.
Like
I don't support physical abuse. See, physical abuse, put like this, whooping is domestic violence.
It really is.
And a lot of people don't want to talk about it because they think whooping is discipline. No, discipline is internal, it's not external. Programming is external. When I'm beating you for, that's behavior modification. Discipline is when it's internal and you know decision making and you know how to critically think about your situation. People use their hands when they ran out of words. Do y'all understand? When parents don't know how to communicate, guess what they start doing? They start fighting because now they're trying to abuse power. They know they're bigger, stronger, taller. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Huh?
I said, when we was little, yeah, I don't know.
No. You gotta understand something. I'm not just bunking what you're saying. What I'm saying is when people have power, I'm talking about power here. I ain't talking about just physical prowess. I'm talking about power. They still can control your resources. They can still control your access to shelter. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? When you get home and your locks change, that's a little different. So I want y'all to always understand you're dealing with a political relationship. And I'm not telling you to fight your parents. I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm asking you to do is understand what politics are. You don't have to like the people that you have to live with. But this is what I also want you to understand. There's a lot of things that are happening that are not supposed to be happening. Y'all get what I'm saying? Some of the things that are being said to you, nobody's supposed to say them to you, but you are supposed to be mentally tough enough to, in order to endure so you can get to a safe place that it will not change your humanity. The things that people said to me, guess what it turned me into? A mentor and a public speaker. I chose to do that instead of violence. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I chose to, when people made fun of me, I became a comedian. So I said, look, I'm not going to pay a counselor for it. Y'all going to pay for me for these jokes. That's my choice. That's what I did. Y'all get it? Is it fair? No. Is it real? Yes. Will it keep happening? I'm pretty sure. So what's the resolve? What's the solution? Be prepared. You can't expect people who don't know how to talk to people to learn in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's one thing I found out. So if you can't expect them to change, make sure you evolve. That's in your power. Y'all get it? Next question. How to start a business? Great question. How many of y'all have a talent? Raise your hand if you have a talent, if you know how to do anything. Okay, this is how you start a business. First of all, make sure you understand what your talent is. Understand your talent. I want y'all to write this down. Understand your talent. Put it like this. Acknowledge what talents you have. Make sure you understand what the talent is. Number 3, what problem does this talent solve? Number 3 is what?
What problem does your talent solve?
What problem does my talent solve? The reason why people started the business is to solve problems. Y'all get what I'm saying? Every business should solve a problem. If you have something you're good at that doesn't solve a problem, that's just a talent. When your talent solves a problem, that is a business. Does that make any sense? Somebody tell me what I just said.
Basically, if you're good at something and you put it to, it usually becomes a service instead of something that you just know how to do.
Right. A hobby, a talent, and a business, those are 3 things. They can involve the same strategy or the same gift, but how you approach it and how you deal with it are 3 things. Talent, gifts, business. Business is when you monetize your gifts and your talents. When now you know what your gifts are and what problems they solve, and not only that, you have to, in order to start a business, you have to let people know you're in business. All right? How many of y'all know how to sell products? You know how to sell. Okay, bet. Now I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you an idea. So I have a network marketing company I work with where I mentor people and show them how to start their own business and make money on the side. All right, I do this today. Did I already give you my information?
Yeah.
So if y'all interested in having your own business, let me know. And the business is cheap. It's $60 a year. It's much cheaper than any other business I've been a part of. And this way, you have your own website, your own products, and anybody you know could be your customer. How many people you think you not only know, but come into contact with on a daily basis? How many do you think? Just guess. Know and come in contact with.
Like when you see it come in contact with.
Meaning, if you see them with your eyes, or you are around them in the same vicinity.
At least 40.
At least 40?
Yeah.
That's probably per day, and that's on the low end. Okay? You on the bus, you in the car, you probably at the mall, you on all these other places, right?
Yes.
Huh?
You at
Yeah, at school. How
Yeah,
many
that's what
people?
I'm talking about, at school.
Right, how many?
2,700 people?
Bruh, do you know you can already have customers already in your high school? They ain't even gotta be your friends. They just gotta know you're in business. See the difference? Now, I don't know, you gotta look at school rules though. I'm not talking about doing stuff at the school.
We talking about like 7 snacks.
Just periods, things, products. Because the products that I have, you use all over the place. You got supplements, you got cleaning service, you got all this different stuff. I got stuff at my store that I go around to different stores and say, I know I got some things that you can benefit from. And now they order from me instead of everybody else. So you can start a business very, very quick. And if you want more information, just take my card and reach out to me. I can get you started real quick and it's cheap. Y'all understand? And I mentor people through it. That's what my mentor business is. All right? How to tell my father to stop trying to be a part of my life after not being there for 13 years. That is very deep. Okay. Now, how do you tell somebody to stop trying? I'm not defending your father, but I'm going to speak on behalf of someone who just got into fatherhood. Y'all ready? As a father, if you've not been there for 13 years and now you're trying, it's going to be hell and high water to keep you from trying to be in your child's life. When I first saw my daughter for the first time, in my brain, I said, we in this thing for life. I don't care where I'm at, I'm going to find you. Y'all understand? Now, I got that the first day she was born. Some people don't get that until their child 20 and 30 years old. Can I explain it? No, I can't. Have I seen it? Yes. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So how can you tell them to stop trying? I don't know if you can get somebody to stop trying. I don't know. You might have to ask them. Y'all heard what I just said? Now, what you can do is you can accept what's happening instead of, acknowledge what's happening. You don't necessarily have to accept it. Do y'all know the difference between acknowledging something and accepting something? What's the difference?
Acknowledging. Okay. Acknowledging something is knowing that it's there. Accepting something is well. If you acknowledge something, you can fight it or find a solution to it. Accepting it means you're not trying anymore.
Hopefully I have an example that will compliment you. Acknowledging